Okay, let's jump right into this. Today, we're not just looking at a map or running through a dry list of geographical facts. No way. We are embarking on an actual cinematic pilgrimage to one of the most breathtaking, virtually untouched corners of the entire globe, Pakistan's last frontier. Together, we're going to reconstruct this whole world, a place literally bursting with deep history, staggering natural beauty, and an incredibly resilient culture. So settle in, get focused, and let's transport ourselves straight to the high Himalayas. Our sources describe this journey as, quote, a pilgrimage to the heart of the Earth's majesty. And honestly, that hits the nail right on the head. Just try to imagine taking a really deep breath of that crisp, high-altitude air. You know, the kind that's so pure it almost feels like it sparkles in your lungs. Picture these mighty Karakoram peaks rising up like ancient sentinels, with their snow-capped summits catching that very first light of dawn. And then, right below them, the constant thundering roar of the Indus River just carving its way right through solid stone. It's not just a destination. It's this complete, overwhelming sensory experience.
Section 1. The Land of Forts. To truly wrap our heads around this hidden utopia, which is actually known locally as Kartaksho, we first need to grasp its absolute sheer scale. Walk with me through the immense footprint of this region. We are talking about nearly 8,000 square kilometers of uncompromising rugged terrain. The elevations here, they're staggering. We're looking at altitudes ranging from 3,000 to a literally breathless 5,000 meters above sea level. This whole area is completely cradled by the mighty Karakoram mountain range, while its valleys are just dramatically sliced in half by the powerful rushing waters of the Indus River. Oh, and it borders Indian-administered Kashmir, too. So it's a landscape totally defined by extreme contrasts between those towering, silent, snow-capped summits high above and the deep, turbulent, life-giving waters rushing down below.
Section 2. Echoes of Ancient Empires.
So, the landscape is amazing, right? But that's only half the story. The centuries passed, kings came and went, and layer by layer, human history wove itself right into these mountains. What's actually super fascinating is how the very name of the valley unlocks its entire historical identity. Kharmang. It's a Balti word. Khar translates to fort, and Mang means abundant, an abundance of forts. This name was bestowed upon the valley back in the era of Ali Sher Khan Anshan. He was a famous Balti king, the 15th ruler of the Makpan dynasty. He took one look at the immense strategic value of these mountains and, well, fortified them completely.
If we rewind the clock, you can clearly track the massive flow of empires that shaped this exact spot. Think about it. Prior to the 16th century, this area was deeply rooted in a Tibetan Buddhist era. In fact, you can still find these vivid Buddhist rock carvings dotting the landscape today. Then, boom, the 16th century rolls around, the Makpan dynasty takes hold, bringing Sufi missionaries and introducing Islam. Fast forward to the 19th century, and the valley gets subjugated by the Dogra conquerors from Kashmir. Finally, skipping all the way ahead to our modern era, Kharmang was officially recognized as its own individual district in 2015. Every single era, every conqueror, left a permanent, indelible mark on the Balti culture we see today.
Section 3. Jewels of the Karakoram. All right, history aside for a second, the natural wonders of Kharmang are the true jewels in its crown. The landscape beautifully transitions from these lush, fragrant apricot orchards, which, by the way, grow the famous special apple of Pari, to raw, thundering waters. Just take a second to absorb this number, 180 feet. That is the sheer, plunging scale of the Manthoka Waterfall. Imagine standing right at the base of this multi-tiered cliff, totally surrounded by lush green pastures. You can literally feel the cold mist on your skin as a 180-foot column of crystal-clear water just crashes into the rocky basin below. It is an absolute symphony of natural power. Now, flip that completely and look at this elevation metric, 4,142 meters above sea level. This is where you'll find Ghandus Lake, also known as Shiosar Lake. Now, getting up here requires a pretty intense, beautiful 3-hour trek up rocky pathways, past green meadows that are carpeted in vibrant, fragrant wildflowers. But the payoff? It's this striking, high-altitude lake with the most unbelievable turquoise blue waters that actually change colors as the day goes on.
And honestly, this comparison brilliantly illustrates the dynamic sensory extremes of the Kharmang Valley. On one hand, you have the Manthoka and Khamosh Waterfalls, totally defined by this acoustic roar, right? This thundering, cascading power echoing loudly through the valley. But then on the other hand, you have Ghandus Lake, and the defining feature there, complete, profound silence. A silence so deep and so deeply spiritual at over 4,000 meters up that you can actually hear your own heartbeat.
Beyond those big standout landmarks, the wider region is this gorgeous patchwork of distinct valleys. You've got Mediabad, offering lush landscapes that are absolutely perfect for trout fishing. Haldi village has these incredible ancient wooden homes set right against the snow-capped Khamosh peaks. Chakchan is all about fruit orchards and terraced farms. And then Torgan Valley pushes you way up to spectacular rocky sanctuaries at 16,000 feet. Woven through all of these valleys is the incredible aroma of authentic Balti cuisine. Just imagine fresh, warm baked bread and freshly grilled trout waiting for you after a long day of traveling.
Section 4. Sentinels of Stone.
Okay, we really need to anchor all this ethereal natural beauty in some actual historical gravity. Let's look at the human-made structures that earned this utopia its name in the first place. The Kharmang Fort, or Boti Khar. This is a real 16th century double-story monument made of rough-hewn, weathered stone. Standing in front of it, you can literally run your hands over rocks that bear the marks of centuries. It was built by the Kharpon rulers, it's privately owned today, and it acts as the silent sentinel to a completely bygone era. And it's a survivor, too. Our sources point out that other massive structures, like the pre-1635 Somakar Fort, were tragically lost to history during conflicts in 1948.
Section 5. Planning your pilgrimage.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is, how do you actually experience this? How do you take everything we've just talked about and turn it into a reality? Well, here is your logistical roadmap. First off, unless you've got unlimited time to spare, you're going to want to fly from Islamabad directly to Skardu. It's a stunning 75 to 90-minute flight. Quick heads up though, these flights fill up weeks in advance during peak season, so definitely plan ahead. Once you land in Skardu, step 2 is totally non-negotiable. You have to hire a sturdy 4x4 Jeep. From there, you'll drive 80 kilometers right alongside the Indus River. It takes about 2 to 3 hours on winding, rough mountain roads. And if you're heading to places like Torgan Valley, remember, you'll be navigating elevations up to 16,000 feet. So yeah, the 4x4, completely essential.
You also have to consider the extreme seasonal duality of this region. It's basically two different worlds. If you visit in the summer, between May and September, you're getting lush greens, accessible trails for trekking to places like Ghandus Lake, and the waterfalls are flowing at their absolute peak. It's definitely the sweet spot for first-timers. But if you are truly adventurous and you go in the winter, between November and March, you are rewarded with the stark, surreal magic of spectacular frozen waterfalls. Just be prepared. You will be facing incredibly harsh conditions and heavy, heavy snow.
As for where you're actually going to sleep, let's break down the lodging. If you're looking for high-end luxury, you'll basically need to base yourself in Skardu and just do day trips. But if you want to truly immerse yourself in the valley, look to the mid-range and budget options. I'm talking about staying in local guest houses with hot, home-cooked meals, or even doing homestays. You can actually camp right at the base of Manthoka Waterfall or Ghandus Lake. Just picture sleeping under this massive canopy of high-altitude stars wrapped up tightly in a thick, locally woven pashmina shawl to keep out the mountain chill. Incredible, right?
Before you even think about packing your bags, you need to memorize these vital tips. Seriously. Number 1, you must give yourself time to adjust gently to the 3,000+ meter altitude. Altitude sickness is real. Pack thermal underlayers and windproof fleeces because those mountain nights get shockingly cold. Make sure to apply SPF 50 or higher. The UV exposure up there is intense. Crucially, carry plenty of cash. ATMs outside Skardu are basically non-existent, and they run dry all the time. Please, hire a local guide if you're taking on challenging treks. And lastly, dress modestly and respectfully. You are a guest in a region with a deeply rooted, conservative Islamic culture. So respect the harsh, beautiful nature, and respect the incredibly warm people who call it home.
Because, honestly, if you show respect, you are going to experience exactly what this beautiful Baltistan proverb promises. The land of forts will welcome you with open arms and a full plate. The hospitality in this region is literally legendary. The Balti people offer a warmth that just perfectly balances the rugged, fortress-like, intimidating terrain that surrounds them.
We've seen the unbelievable scale, we've walked through the history of ancient empires, and we've felt the contrast between thundering waterfalls and silent, high-altitude lakes. Kharmang Valley is truly a place where the mountains touch the sky, and every traveler finds a piece of their own soul. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought. The valley is out there waiting, but are you ready to let the last frontier of Pakistan completely undo you?